You and I with Rashmi Shetty is a simple attempt of bringing in stories of people you and I can draw inspiration from. Ordinary folks, extraordinary lives. Their uniqueness and individuality that make them interesting to talk to and to listen to. A reaffirmation of the fact, open your eyes wider, the world is far more beautiful when we acknowledge the presence of both you and I. Today's guest, Anupama Hoskere, is the founder of Dhaatu, an organization that works to revive the traditional art form of puppetry and winner of the Sangeet Natak Akademi Award for puppetry. A master's in computers with a fellowship in puppetry, she had a childhood growing up with dolls and was influenced heavily by art. Her passion for tradition, texts and scriptures, and the good fortune to be guided by veterans like MR Ranganath Rao, who taught her to create puppets, changed the trajectory of her life. This is part 2 of a 2-part series where she shares her journey as a puppeteer, the genesis of Dhaatu, the challenges the pandemic threw at her, how a dream of a national show became a 21-city tour in the United States of America, and the award that she's so proud of.
So this mess has to be slowly cleared. Once it is cleared, we are just a great country. Now itself we are much better, but still it's...
Has the process begun according to you?
Yeah. I'll tell you, as an artist, when I do a job, my payment comes into my bank account. I have to run 25 tables asking, please pay me. I danced or I did my puppet show 6 months ago, 8 months ago, 1.5 years ago. They'll say, oh, sign one receipt. I've signed receipt and given, and money has disappeared. This has happened. Any money, scholarship money, I speak from an artist's perspective. It just comes into your account. My daughter is a central scholarship holder, and she, because of COVID, they didn't do some paperwork. The department called her and said, well, yesterday was last day, send me today, tomorrow your money will be deposited. And she got a scholarship. Amazing. And telephone is, now we don't have to go through that. Electricity bill, you can do Google Pay. Connections are all open. Gas connection is open. Everything in the country that way is cleaned up. So theorizing about nonsense from outside has to stop because it is detrimental to us.
Okay. And so as somebody so rich in the knowledge of what is culturally Indian and what is originally Indian, how has your journey been, Anupama? And you still haven't reached the point what drew you to puppetry and how you even have become this Academy Award-winning puppeteer and who everyone now looks up to as somebody who is here to hold that tradition so beautifully bound together.
When I saw this apathy in society and I saw non-identification with what I felt was Indianism, made me go back in time, saying, at what point did we flush? So first decision is ignore past 400 years, nonsense. Because it is a survival mode. Survival mode is not an identity, it is crisis management. It is a spike. We need sustenance. We need the graph to be leveled. And a high rise in the graph is different. So then I said, let us remove all these corrupted thought processes. See, it comes to the human existence. Then, of course, I went into Ramakrishna Ashrama one day. I was very angry at that day. I said, what are these people lecturing daily? Country is like this outside. And inside this 4 walls, they're lecturing something. And I went and there was Swami Harshananda talking about Shuddha Brahma, which is a shloka of the Ramayana, Nama Ramayana, very simple thing which they teach children here, little children. And then he talked about problems of Rama and Dasharatha. The cultural reference is Dasharatha is a person capable of riding 10 chariots. He's a great administrative warrior. Rama is like 100% ideal human being. Both of them have ample problems which are in keeping with their levels. So discussion was problems of these two. It was very interesting for me. I said, huh, so what is wrong now? My perspective is wrong. I have problems to my level. Everybody has problems to their level, to the maximum of their level. So did them, but how do you become a winner? This is what Ramana told me. How to win and not have regrets. See, there are two ways of victory. One is you externally win, internally fail. That means you become sad, you become sarcastic. I don't want that. I want to win inside out. So I change my perspective. I work towards it. And you can't be lazy. Lazy people will not get anything. That is not an option. So you live life happy, you live life to your standards. And who is to tell me what is the standard? Who is to tell me what is right? Who is to tell me what is the extreme correct thing to do? Which is not because of the shots called by an external agency. Then I dived further. See, when I was in 9th standard, my dance teacher gave me a Mahabharata book. I think it is some 36 volumes, one volume. Said, read it. I started it then, and I continuously am reading. I'm still reading because I do other things also. So I read again and again and again some things. It tells me about the human mind. Mahabharata is relevant because it talks about the human mind. Human mind is same all over the world. I've done in Nice, Paris, and then Belgium. I dealt with students, young students. I said, hi, these are just like our students. They just have different skin and different punk hairstyle, maybe earrings, rings everywhere. They are our students. See, I could just relate to them. I could be their friend. And the so-called Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam if you know universal. So when you know the human mind, the nature of the human mind, the avarice of the human mind, to what extent it can go, and then controlling forces onto that, that is life. So if Mahabharata can give you that, learn. And then it's a story, it's interesting, it's a character, it's like a wow. And then you see somebody, my husband that day said, somebody asked him, how are those people? He said, like Gandhari. That means they know what is right, but excessive love towards somebody makes them shut off and dangerous human being, be careful. That's all. So it is very relevant. And when I realized this, I had little kids who could relate to dolls. And Navaratra has been my fascinating thing for me ever since childhood. We started with Ramayana doll display, storytelling, shloka teaching because of language. This is how I learned it. And then we had some quiz and all, and kids didn't know characters. So I dwelled more into this. I said, now I'm going to dedicate 10 days of my life to doll keeping, storytelling, and then ensuring the whole community is benefited, not just my kids. At this time, Prajavani editor came. He heard about this. His name is Bhaskar Rao. He is retired, very fine gentleman. He came and visited. And then he said, I'm going to put it in the paper. I said, no, because this is a house. I don't know how to handle public. He said, no, these things have to go. You better somehow make way. And then he put it off in Prajavani. One day I had gone to the market and I was coming back and I saw a line in the road. I said, what is going on here? And then I realized the line was for our living room. So I also saw with everybody, through everybody's eyes, I saw what has been put up. And then I said, yes, this is something which is also useful to people. From then we work to include people, and the epic stories are being told again and again and again with great joy. Because for me, it's like I put it all up, and then I'm like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. I don't even think I did it. I cannot believe. So it's beyond me. It happens. Then what happened was at this time, the two-dimensional was not enough. So I needed movement to tell the stories. And we used to live close to Disneyland. And at that time, I thought puppetry is from there because they've done engineering and dolls have come beautiful. It's a fantastic place. So I was in pursuit of doing theatrical, because theater is part of me, dance is part of me, storytelling is part of me. I said, no, this is not enough. I have to tell more. In the meanwhile, I did choreography of two dance productions, Bharati Devi and Nene and Pavana Sutam Bajeham. Bharati Devi and Nene I did with a friend of mine from dance class. And there, when I did Pavanasutam Bajeham, I understood that children knew the grammar of dance, but didn't know the core of dance. So I said, got to do something about this, and started Ramayana Mahabharata classes. Till this time, I was still working as an engineer in my husband's office. And then I told him, see, now I'm going full-fledged. We'll do something which is not us. It should not be personal. It should benefit beyond us, whoever wants. So we started Dhaatu, a non-profit organization. He also agreed, like-minded. And together we wrote those books, inspired and blessed by Swami Dayanand Saraswati. I met him and I said, Swamiji, I'm educated to be an engineer, but my heart is drawing me to do this culture education. My aunt coined the word culture educator. So he said, go do, when passion is there, things will happen. So I started Ramayana classes. So as the sugar coating on the pill for the Ramayana class, I wanted a puppet show. People don't understand Shurpanaka. They project woman on them. She's woman second. In Valmiki Ramayana, I have to tell you, when Tataka has to be shot, when Vishwamitra Maharshi tells Rama to shoot at her, he says, but Maharshi, she is a woman. And then Vishwamitra says, no, just because you are a female, it doesn't mean that you're not eligible for many things. That is not what India says. People misunderstand this. So reverse is here. When she's causing trouble to so many people and destroying good and life, why are you looking at her as a woman? She's not. She's a Rakshasi, shoot at her. So Shurpanaka, even today, people who the same trickling education from outside, tells, oh, woman is there, she's not. She's a destructive person. So just because she's female, it doesn't mean anything is all right. Checks and bounds are there, whether you are male or female. So this has been India for you. It is very fair. Just as Chudala wife gets Jnana before the husband. And in the end, I must tell you, the husband gave her half of the kingdom. He says, you sit with me to rule or I'm not ruling anymore. So we are a fair nation. So we have to look at our country from our perspective. So here, so Shurpanaka was my first choice, saying it is Dharma Klesha. Not for me, but for other cities. And there is Hasya. See, Hasya is always, is it Hasya at the cost of a female? No. It is character. So if you're so prejudiced that you cannot have freedom to look at an emotion, which is what an artist learns. See, for an artist, emotion is free of ego. So characterization comes from this rasa and not of ego. It is a lesson I learned there. See, like this, I've learned thousands of lessons in this journey. And I learned what Valmiki Maharshi also wrote. I understood to some extent and had fun with it. So Shurpanaka Prasanga was the first puppet show, which my puppet sir, MR Ranganath Rao, made the puppets for, and then very particular nose had to fall off for the kids. So we did do a nose which could be chopped off and it was all red inside. And Shurpanaka Prasanga was the first puppet show. Then I did Mahabharata classes. For Mahabharata classes, we did Nala Damayanti's story. See, we have all these people as great couples of India.
Yeah.
Now I know why, but I was always wondering, what is this? Are we wrong? So Nala Damayanti's story came in, which is a beautiful story. And Damayanti is a character I've always cherished, even as a child. Rukmini, Damayanti, all these people are fantastic women examples for us. And when Nala Damayanti happened, and then for Bhagavata we did Harishchandra, again wondering why that husband sold the wife in the market. I went to Kashi for this. My husband and I went during Ashadha Masa, raining, stayed in Dashashwamedha Ghat for 10 days and explored Kashi. Till then, I never went to Kashi. Then I also saw the temple. I was just bowled over. I mean, stark realities of life. They are not kidding you when they tell you all these stories. It's just that we are westernized and we don't understand. So, what we need to clear is this: all Western is not bad. I'm not saying that. I'm saying don't project a Westerner's opinion on an Indian life. They don't know dimensions. In Belgium, it was there was a talk I went to give in a very old university, coat of arms or something like that place, where I met a gentleman who's a Canadian, and then he asked me to guess his age. I said 70, but he's 90. And he said he spent about 30 years in India and he still doesn't know India. So in his youth, he had spent 30 years trying to understand and explore India. And I said, well, I'm born, brought up there. I lived there for generation and I'm still understanding my people.
Yeah.
Ours is very difficult country to really get a grip on. It's not at all easy. So being this, I will be a great fool to take an external perspective and put it on myself. So Chandra and Chandramati also got cleared. Why is Chandramati such a great person? Why is this woman? And that became the Bhagavata first puppet show. And all of this was done so children would get excited about the epics. Because for the children who came to class, epic meant puppet show. But then we realized when we staged it in Suchitra Film Society, first day we did a puppet show, second day was Harishchandra, 6:30 show, 4:30 house full, 400 seats, 600 people are adjusting and sitting. And I'm like, okay, so we can do puppetry. And to do Harishchandra, I went under. That means I closed all the doors. That was in a basement, didn't tell anybody anything, just worked. At this point, I must say, we have a fantastic music ensemble. We have people who create music, who sing, who give percussion. A wonderful team is there with me. Bangalore, I've worked with them for years and their support is with me. And we have lyricists. The musicians would be Mahesh Swami, Vatsa, and then Balasubramanian Sharma, Lingraju, and then Gurumurthy is there. So these are all, and Sangeet Thomas, Prasanna. So I hope I didn't leave anybody's name because they're all dear friends to me and they're supportive and they're very, very good. Puppetry music is different from anything else.
Yeah.
Stand me and I give them a script. They do a fantastic job of this. And, lyricists, Shatadani Dr. Ganesh, and then Dr. S.R. Leela, these are Sanskrit scholars who are available to us at a phone call. Their phone call available. And we've done Malavikagni Mitram. Ganesha wrote everything for us. We took this on a tour. Puppetry introduction. This is how it happened. And it grew. Stories, aesthetics, costuming, and not being satisfied. There are critics who will tell me the puppets are not good enough. I'm very, very grateful to them because of those people. I've done again and again and again and again. And we've done more and more and more proscenium design, lighting designs. So that is how Dhaatu grew.
Wow. Okay, so Dhaatu grew and you went on to be recognized. You went world over speaking about it. Before we move, one question. What is it about Damayanti that fascinates you?
See, the Vidarbha region is Karnataka, Uttara Karnataka, Maharashtra, Indore, Madhya Pradesh, parts of that. These women, I can relate to. They are bold. They are educated.
Okay.
They are happy. And they are not like, they are well dressed. And they all have glows around them, which is like, yeah, I'll do it. They never hesitate to do anything. And then everybody talks about Sati Savitri, even that is misjudged. But here is, first of all, Damayanti, who manages her husband. Okay, she chooses him. And the love, the romance is beautiful between Nala and Damayanti. It's such a beautiful story. She chooses whomever she wants. She has that freedom. And then she appreciates all the good qualities in him, but he gets into a gambling addiction. And then in order to manage him, her management of sending away the children, and yet she knows he's weak, so she knows she needs to keep an eye on. She doesn't give up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't give up when you're in control.
Yeah.
And you are in control when you can manage. You manage when you think you know better. So all of this, and then even in the end, she makes a ruse to get him back. Planning and all with a good intent. You see, the intent is always in sattva.
Yeah.
She goes through hardship, but she doesn't give up. It's not a big deal for her. That's about the magnitude of a personality. And that is something all of us can look up to. Same with Rukmini also. So these characters, if they are historical epics, very good. We are part of that lineage. So let us remember that. If not, they're only epics, great. We have something to look up to and think about. Yeah. So this is what all of us, most of us women in this part of the country are. In the southern India, if you see, when I interact, everybody's capable. You know, they all have degrees, they have households, they're taking care of everything. And if we are not part of that lineage, if we are not a small reflection of that, what are we? We are not what the Westerners say, saying we are ball and chain. Just because I wear a Mangal Sutra with Gundu, they say, oh, your ball and this is a chain. Yeah, I love my ball and chain because it roots me to my family, and I can communicate with my family. I have human resource, which is the greatest in the world today. So every Indian woman has a great human resource. And these are people who teach you how to develop your resource. See, it's easy to give up. Talking that you should not divorce or anything, beyond a certain point, that problem exists and it's there. That also we have characters. But in order to manage what is not perfect, nothing is perfect. So these stories don't tell you it is perfect. Even in Buddha, it is not perfect.
True, very true.
He tells her, you manage now, you know everything, right? So he tells her, you're capable, you manage this kingdom. I'm going as a hermit. He in samsara gets enlightenment. He goes into isolation and still doesn't get it. But she multiplies 18 folds the wealth of the kingdom. So she's she's good with money also. Good, we have a female finance minister. We've had Udala is the finance minister of those years. And it's recorded. It's not like, okay, in India people can't do. In India, the problem is people think Purusha and Stree are the body related things. It is not the sexual identity of the person. It is the character and mind of the person.
True.
So the married woman is Srimati because she needs that super intelligence to take care of human resource. No,
that's very true, Anu, because when you talk about energies also in leadership, it's a balance of both male and feminine energies that are required, immaterial of what the gender of the leader is. When there's a balance of the masculine feminine energy, and Ardhanarishwara concept is again a very beautiful one. So there are many things so Indian, which now when they come from outside India is valued a lot more. So you're right, when you go back to the roots, and I'm sure in your journey of going back to the roots, finding these puppeteers, you must have had fascinating stories about meeting people who are still in the profession. And your journey has been a really beautiful one. You've given a lot of yourself. The world took a back step in the last 18, 20 months after the pandemic struck. How is it with puppeteering?
It's tough because there are no shows. See, our earnings came from the shows. To run this NGO, whatever money I got from the shows, I would put it in, I would do the festival. I got some help from the government, but now I don't have any finances coming in. One part. Second, the shows, in order for them not to be rusty, we are doing it online. We are trying to do a different presentation of the same show, but it is still not the same because we can't touch people the way we would with a live performance. And deep in the villages, people have become, see, the children have become auto drivers and they are doing puppetry part-time only. Even that does not exist now. The Rathotsavas was a major, what do you call, patron of puppetry. The temples are all shut down, so there is no income coming from there. And people who did festivals are not doing it, so puppeteers are not invited anywhere. So what happens, this was my thesis of senior fellowship about Ichanur Shaili puppet, which disappeared from the face of the earth. And I did a revival of that. And I wondered why. Why did this happen? So we have something caused by the previous Spanish flu, the pandemic. And pandemic came, took away lives of many puppeteers, 8 of the 10. And the only person surviving was so depressed that he didn't want to see the face of the puppets because it reminded him of his friends. And he put it in a box and it was in a Hanuman temple. And it stayed there 40 years as a stand for the Archaka to put his bell and Mangalarti Tate. Then somebody, G. Paramshwaya, saw this, heard about it, took permission and took the puppets and put it in the Mysore Folklore Museum. My teacher, MR Ranganath Rao, kept telling me, yo, it's gone. It's such a nice thing, it's gone. I said, sir, let's go. One day I told him, sit in the car, we'll go, I'll drive. Went to Mysore and I was fascinated by these puppets. And did a revival of that, and then did shows of that. And all this story is backstory because Deccan Herald talked about the Ichanuru puppet, and Ichanuru Shanta called me saying, how did you take away my father's puppets? I said, no, I made replicas of them. Anyway, so we got this whole story about the pandemic happening at that time. And January 2020, my glass case got ready. I said I should display these puppets which have come with all the, and it took me this almost more than 100 years to get it back. And then they announced saying now everything is shut down because of a second pandemic. Now, what I understand from this is we should now protect knowledge. Material we can do. See, material can always come back. But when you lose knowledge of the material, if you lose knowledge of how to make it, the technique, the knowledge, the systems of music, and all of this, if it can be preserved in puppetry, yes, this is a tough time. Yes, nothing is happening, cannot happen, because art cannot happen if you're scared of the person next to you. If you feel awkward sitting in an auditorium, which is closed, art cannot happen. So where can I reach excellence with it? So what we can do is we can do knowledge preservation. We need to do that. And we need to think about how to go back. It is pretty much going back in time because we did the Ramayana display in Udupi during Yugadi just before the lockdown. And when I was driving back from Udupi to Bangalore, I saw a whole lot of open air theaters. Small open air theaters. And that is what we need. See, we are a rain country, so there cannot be programs when there is rain. But if we can just somehow manage that, which is easier than anything else, which is less expensive, I think as a nation, we should do this. Otherwise, we lose out so much. We erode. And when we erode, it is loss. So we have to energize, we have to protect, and we have to come back in a modified manner. And we're just working towards this. We're working towards knowledge preservation, recording, and the theater has been now converted into a studio. So we got a camera and we're just doing the recordings. And yeah, that's what, and waiting.
Okay. So you're looking for people who can be voiceovers or artists, or what kind of search are you on, quest are you on to preserve this knowledge?
See, if any kind of pitching in, even for camera work, because we are the artists, we are the camera people. So when I'm on this side, one of us goes and does that. It's a great demand, and even the camera people, they're not available to us
Hmm, hmm,
because we do it in parts. We don't want to do everything, like we don't do film shooting. We
hmm.
do parts and pieces, and a lot of patience is required because it's deep work. It doesn't happen like in us. You have to be patient, and you need to be interested in the end product. You need to be creative about it because it has to be a job done well once again, because out there the videos are very good, and if bad job at this time, who cares? Nobody wants it. Puppetry or whatever, nobody wants.
Yeah.
It becomes important to do a proper job.
Hmm.
Yeah, even the camera work or some advice on lighting, we have somebody who knows this or who can even be part of a process, um, is very nice. That's what we don't have, because we have very few people today who are still clinging on to puppetry, in Dhaatu especially.
Hmm.
My core team is there, but then we need a few more people.
Okay.
And Navratra, we are planning to go do the job, full works. So we will have to do scheduling. You know, one of the people I met, she suggested that we schedule slots, and that kind of work, managerial work, or admin work, if there is anything outside there, some software which we can use, even advice on that. So those things will be very useful for us.
Okay. So advice on software, camera for camera
Design,
work.
trying to do a Ramayana book on these dolls.
Hmm.
So it's design work. So
Oh.
people will come. We thought they can hold on to these brochures, and then they can walk through and they'll know the story.
Hmm. Hmm.
That way, it's no contact. They
Okay.
have their own visual material which they can match and read and tell their family stories and go on. So such things will make it better.
Okay. Okay. Sure.
And also, we're thinking maybe of putting up a smart TV. We'll see. This
Hmm.
is an option which has the, because it's everybody doesn't want the story.
Hmm.
But if someone wants, there should be some source where they can stand and watch and learn and go.
Hmm. Hmm.
That will help people do that. So
Okay.
if there is any corporate which wants to sponsor us the TV, I'm for 4 years trying to get this, but my budget doesn't allow me to get this TV for this purpose.
Hmm.
So we'll see. So
Yeah.
many small things are there which can make it better, which can make it more accessible to the people.
Hmm.
Scheduling software also, if there is some there, we can use it, and it would make our lives easier. Otherwise, we have to run around doing everything.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So, and anybody who has any ideas, because mine are limited ideas, the world is unlimited. This is one thing I have learned. So wherever I've gone in the world is not by applying. It's like saying, oh, and somebody calls and I go.
So
And
the universe is listening, Anupama. So you never know where your next call will
then
come from.
see, we did Malavika Mitram production, okay?
Yeah.
It's very nice. One, Malavika is my daughter, Divya.
Hmm.
And then rest of the characters are played by Maithili, and then Chitra were part of the team, and then my son Vedas and Prakriti were also trained in this. And I was also playing the puppets. Divya is the dancer who multiplies as a stage person, who multitasking, also plays puppets, and we were like a small group. Then I said, this production is so beautiful. It's extraordinary production because Kalidasa's work is extraordinary and the puppets are beautiful. And the lyrics are very, very nice. And everything came together. Lighting was done by Shivatsa. He's done a fantastic job of that. And I said, we have to take this production all over India. How to do this? Don't know. So I wish, this production should go everywhere in India because people will understand what this is. But I have no clue how to take this production in India. So I said, okay, statement done, thought done, let's keep it. 2 days later, I get a phone call. They're saying, we are from Save a Child Foundation in USA. It's part of VHPA. They said, we want to invite you for a 20-city tour in 3 months, 21-city tour in 2 months with a production to raise money for underprivileged children in India. Their food, shelter, living conditions, whatever, everything. I wanted to do this in India. And then I get this phone call to go do it in the US. And I said, sure. I didn't even think. I didn't ask them, are you paying me money? Are you doing anything? I said, sure, we'll do it. Because Malavika Nitram, now we'll go and
National.
And then, of course, they were they did very nice planning. We raised, how much money did we raise? $75,000.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Their expense margin, for us, it was almost pro bono. We didn't charge, but they our expenses, and we stayed in many people's homes. We learned how people live in different. And the best part was Friday, one city, Saturday, one city, Sunday, one city. We travel by air, by road, bus, car, anyhow, we travel. And then Monday, we skip to the next state. So we traveled all of the US. So it's like unbelievable. For me, it was like one vrata. I said, I'm not doing anything else. I strategize, I plan. Monday, we just rest. Tuesday, I start thinking on how I arrive, how do we unpack. Everything was streamlined. Unpacking, packing, just this many. The core was only 5 of us. And the 5 of us achieved this. And we had fun too. I mean, we didn't need to go to anywhere, but we had fun with the process. And the team is also like that. They're like-minded people. So they have also invested their own selves into it. So they have not got returns for it, I think, other than happiness. So I wish them well. So I am very grateful for all of this around me.
Wow. I think that's the beauty, Anu, when your intent is pure. So the purity of intent goes out there. The universe's plan is way bigger than yours. You were thinking of an India tour, and the universe had bigger plans.
I said, we need this tour. I said, this is so beautiful. People need to see it.
Yeah.
Still haven't done the India tour. I need to do it. Whatever happens, it happens. And when I was in my friend's house in San Francisco, the Asian Museum is there in San Francisco. Wanted to have a talk. And when I was in LA, they called me back one day for this talk. I went there, I was sleeping in my friend's house. 4 a.m. I get a phone call saying, you have been awarded Sangeet Natak Akademi Award. And then I just, I was stunned. I called my husband. He said, there is no news here. And he said, people might be just starting rumors. Don't believe them. You just go back to sleep.
Who called you?
A puppeteer from Kerala called.
Okay. Yeah.
And then at about 7 a.m., official call came. And in the meanwhile, I told him, he had called one friend in the press and he said, no, we don't have any release. There's no news. So he called me and said, you're having enough excitement in your life. Don't believe, just be. And then my daughter, before the official call came, I woke my daughter up. Divya said, wait, Amma, let me see their website. And she found it on the website. It was there. So it was there online, but still, then the official call came. And I didn't believe it because I didn't think people like me got it. And anyway, I'm very, very happy for that because it makes me belong to India. You see, that is the highest appreciation I have of this. Because I'm so much Indian that for me, this is the greatest thing in the world. And for that, I'm delighted. Of course, work goes on.
Yeah, and you are such a delight, Anu. Now, before we leave, you have seen so much of life. you have seen so many experiences which have taught you so much more on what life truly is. So, if there are three life lessons that you'd like to leave us with, what are the three life lessons that you think are extremely close to you?
Pursue when you believe in something. It may appear like nothing good is happening to you, but ignore it. So don't do it again. It comes to karmanya vadikaraste, but that's really, really true. And then sometimes this will make you one angry person. Shed anger. Try to learn communication without anger. Do what you do to your greatest level of honesty. That makes you happy inside. And shed anger and value your family more than anything else in this world.
Wow. Beautiful, beautiful. And I think you put it all together because that's what life is. Living every moment, not holding reactions against anyone, and just loving those who matter most, which is family. And like you said, Vasudeva Kutumbakam, I think India has taught us that more than anything else. Amazing journey, Anu. God bless you with more. And I'm sure the universe is listening to you, going back and seeing your story through your eyes. I don't know how the reflection has been for you, but for me, it's been fascinating. And before we leave, what is that puppet behind you who stayed through our entire conversation?
She is Jetty Taima.
Okay.
Mysore style Doan. She was a dancer in the court of the Wadiyars. And she's the person who started the Mysore style of dance.
Dance, is it? Oh, okay.
She doubles up as other characters also.
Okay.
The first, originally, she is Jetty Taima, the dancer.
Okay. And if this is one of the puppets that you made, or you made using your engineering technology of making the hands and the legs move and stuff like that.
Yes. She's part of the. She has some parts which are part of the traditional system, but there's also slight modification in her control systems because one person has to play and she has too many things moving. So she's slightly modified in her from the traditional system of making a puppet.
You know, there's a very popular Kannada movie song. I don't know if you've heard it in some recent movie, which said, Gombe adsonu mele kuntavnu nange ninege yake tension. So I think you are showing us how beautifully that the man who's sitting up there is the puppeteer in the true sense of the term. And all of us are mere puppets doing our roles.
Absolutely.
Exactly how he wants our hands and legs to move.
Absolutely.
And thank you so much for bringing it to life so powerfully, Anu. God bless you and all the very best.
It's always a pleasure to talk to you. Of energy to anybody who sits on the other side.
Thank you, Anu. Honor completely mine. And I really, really wish you the best of everything, happiness, which you have no count of, and for the work that you're doing so selflessly to keep India alive. I think more power to you, girl. And God bless you. God bless you. Bye. With that, we come to the end of this weekly quest of You and I with Rashmi Shetty. Do let us know if you know people who make the world beautiful. Write in to rashmi.thethirdeye@gmail.com. That is rashmi.thethirdeye@gmail.com. Come, let's explore this amazing world together, both you and I.